Tonight, the cards speak in a strange form. You know what it means? Violence, blood.
I can't believe you're serious.
Don't you believe in cards?
In the 20th century, you can only believe in science, don't you think?
Welcome to another bad movie review. Today we're talking about Voodoo Black Exorcist. Ooh. The mid-70s was a crazy time. You know, when you could go on a cruise ship and find a mummy. Yeah, that's what happens here. Alright, this is a very bizarre Spanish horror movie. Well, to be more specific, I'm looking at my notes and I wrote down laughable Spanish horror trash for all the wrong reasons. It is a Spanish horror film, but it's not scary. It's kind of funny. And it's not funny because it's supposed to be funny. It's not funny ha-ha necessarily. It's just funny weird. So the premise is this. A voodoo priest is mummified after killing some random white dude. Not a lot of explanation there. He's in the mummy state for like 1,000 years before coming back to life on a cruise ship where he seemingly pointlessly kills a cat and a bunch of random people. He then falls in love with Sylvia, who reminds him of a European version of his dead lover. This only caused minor inconvenience for his murderous duties. So he goes on a little bit of a rampage here, killing people semi-randomly. A few of them for some reason. I don't know. The plot's pretty stupid here. It's very thin and not really explained. I don't know if that's because it's dubbed in from the Spanish or because it just didn't really have a plot. And coming in at like 88 minutes or so, it's really should have had time to explain itself. But it doesn't. But hey, you get to see a mummy fight a fire hose. The voice dubbing is awful, but kind of funny at the same time. The makeup is sad and sort of pathetic. And they had to dub in the cat meowing. Which the cat was the best actor in the whole thing. Sorry, he knew all his lines. He was where he was supposed to be. He didn't trip up anything. He didn't look stupid. There's about 5 sets of boobs you're going to see in this. Most of which are some people in a voodoo ritual dancing around early on in the movie. And then Eva Leon shows her boobies in one scene, in a shower scene. She was probably the best actress, along with her subsequent voice actress who did the dubbing. Those were probably the best performances in this movie. Everybody else was pretty freaking awful. And I don't blame the voice actors who had to dub this mess in. Nope. I give them a pass on this one. They all sound like cartoons? Sure. That's a valid argument. However, the movie's just nonsensical. It's a great party movie if you want to have some friends over and make fun of a movie. This is a winner for that. But beyond that, this movie makes very little sense. The ending is just horrific. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It happens really fast. Like it just abruptly ends. And an innocent person is murdered for no reason. And no one seems to care. And then it just ends. Just ends real abruptly. Like, oh my gosh, that just happened. The end. Credits. Says the end. So yeah, this is probably one of the lamest movies I've seen in a really long time. And yeah. I have had this for a while and just never got around to watching it. And now I know why. Because that was the universe telling me it was a terrible idea that I'd be wasting an hour and a half of my life. And it took me a lot of work to focus on this movie. I've seen probably 1,000 bad movies in my life. And this one was hard to sit through because it was just a wreck. Nothing worked in this movie. The camera work was terrible. You could even see the camera shifting a little bit, like when they're trying to film a scene. it would like stutter like a bad news crew would do. And there's a scene where you can see a cameraman and I think the director maybe, when the zombie guy is, or the mummy rather, is knocking a woman into a mirror, you can see them. Not just for like a second, but it's like the whole time he's flailing around with her. You can see their reflection in the mirror. So obviously they didn't feel necessary to go back and fix that because it's a glaring problem. But yeah, this movie was it was a real cinematic treat, let me tell you. It's only good for making fun of. This is not a series of strong performances. It's a pretty terrible story. The only innovative thing was a mummy running around on a cruise ship, which only happens for part of the movie. But that concept was kind of cool. They could have made a really good mummy movie where people are trapped on a boat with this monster hunting them down and killing them one by one. That could have been a really cool movie. This is not that movie. This is not a cool movie. This is a disappointment on celluloid. This is an embarrassment to the people that were in it. And I feel bad for them. And I'm pretty sure the woman at the beginning of the movie that plays the love interest for the guy that becomes the mummy is wearing blackface. I'm about 90% sure that she's wearing blackface, but the film quality is so bad, you can't tell if she is or not. Although I really, really, really strongly believe she is. And they do these weird flashbacks to her where there's like a red filter because he's in love with her, but it's the same scenes that you saw at the beginning of the movie. They didn't even take 5 extra minutes to film 2 or 3 different scenes of her running on the beach or something. No, it's the exact same scenes from the opening of the movie, only with a red filter now because he's reminiscing about the love that he lost, and they don't really follow through on this storyline of why he's in love with Sylvia because she reminds him of Kenya. Like, they don't bear a whole lot of resemblance to each other, possibly due to shoe polish. And I just didn't understand it. It was just, the whole movie was just kind of like blundering along. Like, I read where they filmed this in 3 weeks. Well, I'm pretty sure they wrote the script while they were filming, because that's the only way this would explain what happened to this movie. That or a lot of drugs. Because I think they blew about half their budget on coke and hookers. Because there's no other reason this movie should be this terrible. They did have a cruise ship in the movie, so I don't know how they screwed this up. But yeah, this is just a really quality bad movie as far as mockery goes. If you're looking for a good storyline, nope. If you're looking for some good acting, no. The cat was the best actor in the movie, hands down. And he's only in it for about 10 seconds. And yeah, there's just nothing really redeeming about this movie except the fact that you can make fun of it. So on that note, I'm going to say if you are looking for something entertaining, this isn't it. Black Voodoo Exorcist, or Bloody Voodoo, it translated from the Spanish. The movie made no sense. I'm sure there's an extended cut out there somewhere, but I doubt it makes any more sense. So yeah, skip this one and pick something better unless you're looking for something to make fun of. If you're looking for something to make fun of, you hit pay dirt. This is your movie. So in the meantime, check back in a little bit and we'll have another new bad movie review. And in the meantime, check out some of the other videos and see what you think. Take a listen to my sexy voice. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening.
You speak English well.
3 centuries in museums. I have learned many, many things.